Rajesh, thank you so much for joining this chat today. I am really excited to talk about what we have on the plate today. So, before we actually dive into the business end of things, do you mind just describing your current role at Dr. Reddy's just a little bit so that I know that many people know you, but whoever doesn't gets to know a little bit about the kind of responsibilities and leadership that you bring to Dr. Reddy's.
Sure. At Doctorates, I am part of digital and process excellence team. That's what we call. So this is not just about bringing the transformation with us to digital. It's also about any kind of process changes that we need to do at Doctorates. We are responsible for. While I'm part of digital and process excellence team, I work closely in the manufacturing processes and specifically responsible for transformation in the quality processes. We are responsible for both digitalize the core and for digital transformation at Dr. Reddy's.
Yeah, it's so fascinating to hear a true implementation of digital to enable decision making in the manufacturing and quality processes. Something that I see every pharma company trying to do. But I must congratulate you, Rajesh. The I have been fortunate enough to see firsthand the level of implementation, the level of digital maturity that you guys have reached at. I must say that not many pharma companies, not just across India, but across the world, uh, they are yet to catch up with the level where you guys are at today. So, a big congratulations, first of all, to you. How does it
Thank
feel
you.
for you to achieve, such a meaningful uh, feat?
Thank you. And first of all, thank you. Thank you very much for that. And yeah, so as you say, like when we compare with peers or when we talk to multiple organizations, whenever there is a discussions or forums, various discussions, we see that there is quite a bit of maturity in terms of digitalization of Dr. D's. I think organizations have been blessed with visionaries and people who have realized in the early days itself the power of digitalization and to start early. So I can say proudly that I am part of the digitalization journey at Dr. D's starting from 2010, means core process digitalization, and we started with a journey with the manufacturing execution system. All of
Wow,
these
I have
is
so
also.
many I have so many questions coming to my mind at this point. I just want to interrupt you, Rajesh, and bring the attention of our audience back to one core topic which you highlighted early on. How important has it been to get the buy-in from the leadership at Dr. Reddy's? How important has it been for you to have that belief in the digital vision of the organization?
Yeah. So luckily, at Dr. D's, I would say leadership always, starting from day one, or less maybe, probably leadership was very, very clear on the importance of doing digitalization. And what has helped an organization like Dr. D's, um, the it's not easy. It's not easy to step into digitalization just like that. Organization backbone, that is the culture about transparency of whatever we are doing, right? And if that has to be there, then digitalization is, I think, will make it's actually a meaningful choice. And that organization culture has actually supported Dr. Reddy's to embark on the journey of digitalization. As an organization, if you are not transparent, it would not have been easy, because with the digital, every process will be visible, every mistakes or issues whatever we are doing in our day-to-day operations will be visible. We cannot hide these things. Because of the culture, we were able to do it successfully, right? And organizations fully supported. Organization, the leadership was, as I said, or leadership, actually leadership was driving. We need to do these things. Leadership will come and say, "Hey, now you have to take to go to the next steps, and you have to go to the, let's say, the many transformative ideas about, let's say, doing digitalization, how to use AI, how to use advanced analytics, or how to use platform thinking when it comes to all these ideas actually, or demand actually came from management. So and
Yeah,
in terms of investment, there was no stoppage. Yeah, and then
yeah,
organization also built a strong, powerful team of judicious people who were able to make judicious calls in terms of investment, and hence we are in this stage. To top up with, just to conclude on the how we are able to benefit from all these things, right?
yeah. I think these are all so critical milestones in the journey of uh, digitalization of any pharma company, really. What I'm hearing, Rajesh, is that leadership was not only supportive or reactive, but it actually enabled and became a driving force to bring digital as much as possible. That's that's quite rare to see, actually.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And again, yeah. So I'm proudly able to say, let's say, we are 95 percentage digitalized. All these demands also came from management. So that's the way I would like to say,
Yeah,
as a journey.
and I think that's probably set the foundation to achieve so many meaningful use cases, and one of them being root cause analysis, RCA as we call it. So that's a perfect segue towards the topic for today, which is the role of AI in conducting smart investigations, or in other terms, root cause analysis. So, Rajesh, for our non-pharma listeners, can you just elaborate what does RCA mean and why do pharma companies need to do it?
Yeah, sure. So root cause analysis is in one of the critical process, that we, or the requirement that we have. Um, this comes even more critical when it comes to the products. There are various types of issues that happens in the manufacturing processes. Some are related to processes where people miss to do certain kind of activity in a certain way as defined in SOP. Right? Some are related to failures in the equipment. Some are related to failures in the manufacturing process. Some are related to the product itself. These are various types of issues that might happen when we are doing manufacturing activities. Right? Now, in pharmaceutical industry, it is imperative that we have to find out the root cause for that issue, and we addressed with proper corrective and preventive action. So, if we need to create or to suggest proper corrective and preventive action, the root cause has to be accurate, right? And why this is important? This is important in pharmaceutical industry because any product related aspects, or it is which can directly impact the product, for all such kind of issues, we need to identify root cause so that we can ensure that we are producing a robust quality product, and which giving to patients.
Yeah, and it's such a powerful tool to have at your facility if you are looking to improve the quality of your drug products. Now, my mind goes back to, uh, I remember reading a report by FDA on drug shortages. There was a blog by Janet Woodcock, who was the then commissioner of the FDA, and it was highlighted that nearly two-thirds of the drug shortages, I think it's about 62% of the drug shortages, were linked with the product quality issues. And not having proper idea of what's impacting the quality of the product. Is it a failure of the equipment, product, people, materials? Not having a good handle on that and not having the ability to predictably, repeatably control the quality of your product ultimately has such a huge impact on the quality of the drug products and ultimately impacting the availability in a very large number of to a very large number of patients. Not only accessibility, but then ultimately the efficacy and the quality of the drugs that and the treatment that they are receiving. So seems like such a critical component to have. According to you, Rajesh, what are some of the challenges that pharma companies face today in conducting effective root cause analysis if they haven't implemented digital enablement layer to achieve that?
Yeah, sure. First of all, I will touch upon the shortage that you mentioned. How, uh, yeah. So having a robust processor, is key to meet the market demand. The robust manufacturing process for each product is very very key. And if there are failures, then it will become or it becomes difficult to supply the required quantity of drugs into the market. So it is we need to work on the the product robustness, continuously work on product robustness piece. That is what is the requirement. It's and if you're able to create a robust process, then the supply versus demand gap can be addressed effectively. So each organization need to work on making a robust process for each product, so that the drug shortage kind of situations because of various reasons, because specifically with the topic that we are discussing, because of failures, process robustness failures is what we need to address very specifically. Now, coming to if you are doing a manual investigation, right, with versus digitalized process investigation, how this need to be looked at, right? So if we are talking about in the manual world, or let's say the paper based world or semi digitalized world, what is the starting point for investigation? The starting point for investigation for any process failures or product failures, actually data. Data need to speak the truth, that the truth is probably the root cause, or in case we are unable to nail the root cause, at least the most probable root causes. For that, we need data. Data need to speak the what's actually happened. If in a manual world, or let's say paper based world, getting data, compiling data from the amount of data required to compile or to for investigation, etc., is humongous. Right? At least, let's say, simple thing. Which raw materials has gone to the multiple stages of manufacturing? Which batches? How the CMS, the critical material attributes of those APA and excipients looks like. To collect such kind of a data itself is an humongous process in paper-based world, right? Which you need to get into batch genealogy. In the batch genealogy, which all input materials used, how many stages it is covered, and which for those batches, what was the quality of the materials. Yeah, to get to such kind of data is not that it's not that easy. So usually, what we are seeing in the industry, the data collections that is required to do meaningful investigation in case of, let's say, in an out of specification result. In case of manufacturing investigations, takes about 15 to 20 days. So we are not started investigation. We are waiting for data to actually to start investigation. So this is where digitalized investigations comes into play.
Yeah. So on one hand, there is a critical process of collecting a huge amount of data which would form the basis of conducting an effective investigation, which can take sometimes a bit of time. However, once you have this data, Rajesh, um, I'm assuming that creating an understanding out of this huge amount of data, correlating the different aspects altogether, how do you think is it even humanly possible for us to analyze this data in a meaningful way, which would identify the root cause?
Hmm.
Or is that where the
So
role of AI comes into play?
I would like to put this in two different phases. I would say before Gen AI and after Gen AI. This is the way I would like to classify. So before Gen AI, data is available. You know, you're having, let's say, 30 batches or 100 batches data. All digitalized data is available. You're able to compare with your subject batch or reference batch with all the past batches. Yeah, all the past data of all various attributes, whether it is CQA, CPP, CMAs, equipment parameter, all equipment parameters with the time based events or time based data, what kind of alarms, all this you are able to do with digital data in place. However, still you have to put a lot of effort to probably make meaningful correlations or interrelations what data is saying. Let's say how a CMS or a CPP is attributing a CQA. All this also need to be supported with the product development data. Sometimes probably we'll be able to find out new insights altogether which product development data doesn't speak, right? Sometimes we have seen examples uh, uh, when you operate though within the specification in the CMA, when you operate with specific range in a allowed range, you are able to get best quality product. But though sometimes the batch is in the different range within the specifications, you are not in probably you're not getting the best output in terms of quality or in terms of yield. Like, so we have there are several examples with these kind of zillions of data now that is coming together. There are with hundreds of variables for comparing. It's not that easy. It's again time taking. Some where if you're able to find out root cause from the first instance, yes, then we are successful. Otherwise, it is a time taking process again. Probably we need some more data. So that's process continues. However, with AI, now I would like to say, probably with the Gen AI, the way it is coming up, the possibilities, like now I can say possibilities. Probably that's a potential we are yet to realize how this shape up. What we are expecting is instead of and functional experts sitting and again doing this kind of analysis, now there is an probably the best expert in the world available with us, a tool which has learned probably thousands of books or lakhs of books about pharmaceutical industry, pharmaceutical processes, products, excipients, chemistry. All these processes are probably learned by this algorithm, right? So I would say uh, AI could be a professor or maybe more than professor, like a professor also a well, you know uh, probably the most or the best professor in the world would also learn maybe 100 or 1,000 books about pharmacies. However, this is having capability of learning maybe lakhs of articles, books or periodics, etc. So that expert coming and able to correlate all this kind of data and is able to provide not just let's say the data specific correlations or just not just what data saying. It is also able to say us, will be able to say us, that's what I'm hoping for, will be able to say us how pharmaceutically, with the pharmaceutical functional knowledge, how this is a, we are this data, is making sense for the with the pharmaceutical knowledge.
It sounds a lot like you're describing an AI co-pilot for investigations. Is that what you have on your mind?
Copilot, yeah, that's a probably the perfect thing. And AI as an expert will be able to tell me this is the root cause, rather than now here trying to find out is root cause. We'll be able to tell us this could be the root cause, one, two, three, with the functional knowledge. This is this scientific justification for this issue, or let's say this is why this is happening. And also creating a report. Now this, even though we did, we have done all these aspects, root cause analysis and investigation. Now still there's a beautiful report that need to be created, right? For the future references or purposes, what all activities we did, what all data we evaluated, and what all insights we got. This is not the root cause. That is this is not the root cause, and then finally this is the root cause and why. Right? That is what we need to create as a beautiful report in the pharmaceutical industry. Even that piece, I see there is a potential that using AI will be able to achieve quickly. And to summarize it, AI as a co-pilot, or AI as an expert, and AI as a creator is
Yeah.
helping us in doing these aspects.
I think which is the whole idea behind generative AI as well. Yeah. I'll just take you a step back, Rajesh, and talk about a topic which has been on my mind for a while. So instead of, I'm sure that we need to address investigations, RCA in a manner which is effective, repeatable, it delivers success consistently. How do we apply and use generative AI to make sure that deviations don't happen in the first place, and we make this entire discussion more proactive than reacting to the issue, and we apply the elimination first approach. We figure out a way to just eradicate the issue from root. So, root cause elimination for root cause analysis is what I like to call it.
Yeah, 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 sure. I think that is. I'm more interested to actually speak on that topic than how AI can be used for root cause analysis, right? Which is,
Yeah.
I would say, purely a reactive approach. And where I would like to, what I would like to see, what our organization should be doing is how can we use AI for product robustness, proactive product robustness, right? So we need to ensure that we have developed the products in R&D. We have generated a huge amount of data. Product development reports are available. Data is available. We have transferred the technology into manufacturing. Manufacturing has manufactured a lot of batches. Huge amount of data is available. Various kinds of data. Right now, we should apply uh, AI in terms of how can we go about a proactive approach, uh, working on product robustness. What are the chances of failures? One is identifying, what are things happened so far in those batches that are manufactured, right? And then trying to identify what were the reasons for failures. That's one approach where we'll be able to make different kinds of insight, so that we can ensure that we can take an proactive step to address such kind of point. However, there's a necessity to do holistic analysis, is what I would say. Yet to we'll have to do this activity. We are probably thinking about it. I know how these things can be done. How AI can be used in a proactive manner for working on product robustness, right? So all these kind of data is available. Now, what AI says with respect to product robustness, such in such a way that how what kind of impact a CMA can create, uh, or an operating condition can create into the final outcome. Yeah, so we call it as, there is a process, something called as golden tunnel, right? Golden tunnel for critical unit operations. How we'll be able to create quickly for each product. First is identifying what could go wrong, right? And then second is identifying what are the best conditions for manufacturing. How can we ensure that we are always operating on the best conditions? That is, golden tunnel, right? And if there is a deviation in the manufacturing, how can we course correct while manufacturing happens? So not again an intervention by user or operator into bring back to golden tunnel. And if we are operated in a golden tunnel, how we can uh, we can proudly, or no, we can say, this batch is meeting consistent quality, right? We are able to consistently produce, um, because of these reasons we are operated in these certain conditions. This input materials quality, these are the conditions. Now with these operating conditions, if you have produced, and if you are clear that, can we release the material without doing further testing, right? Which is called as parametric release. That's a kind of stage we need to reach. Product robustness is done, study is done, identified all proactive potential issues, converted that into operating conditions that we need to operate, ensuring that we are always operating in those defined operating conditions, and hence no further testing required. Maybe testing maybe 150th batch or 100th batch or whatever that criteria. That's the kind of possibilities are emerging now. These thought process were there. However, now this becomes, we can speed up this journey of kind of creating the process robustness or product robustness journey with the Gen AI. Will be able to, I think, will be able to achieve faster, is what I would see, Vivek.
Yeah, and Rajesh, it seems that the world of generative AI and the large language models is evolving so fast that any pharma company that's not using it already, that's not live with it already, has probably already been left behind by a huge margin. Do you feel there is some truth to that, or is that just some assumptions which we are making?
No, I think certainly. I feel, I think in routine operations, like I would like to start from there. Even with the open source technology that are available for normal users, any user in the company or any employee in the company, the way the every activity can become productive, right? We are able to see it. That's even if writing a mail, yeah, even if creating a strategy, even if creating a standard operating procedure, we can take help of these tools that are available. If a normal employee is able to leverage the technology, right? Why not for all critical processes, right? If you are not doing it, if you are not starting it, yeah, I think we are largely, losing our time, and also losing our efficiency.
Yeah, and it's interesting you say that, Rajesh. Just a few days ago, I was listening to the CEO of a top five pharmaceutical global companies, and he said that all the success that we have today is the outcome of the work that we started doing in 2015 when there was a lot of buzz around cloud and building data lakes. I think you guys started probably around the same time, and it seems that we are again at a pivotal moment in the history. It seems that we are all over visiting the landscape of technology. It seems that the time has come again for a massive wave of innovation in the pharma industry specifically, just like we had about 8 9 years ago. Do you feel that this is the moment when pharma will either win or may be left behind?
Traditionally, pharma is treated as laggards in adopting technologies. What I can see, like the reasons quoted for that is this is highly regulated industry, etc. However, what I can see is FDA or any regulatory agency, they are also supporting for all these kind of initiatives. I can see FDA is having a digital transformation office. They are also kind of probably utilizing AI heavily. When we are speaking to them, right?
Yeah.
They are also, we see that they are also even critical decisions like which site to be audited for which company. They are utilizing social media information to take such kind of decisions, right? So
Yeah.
if USFDA is utilizing all these technologies heavily, right? And then it's very important for pharma also to understand the potential of these technologies and how to utilize it. So with Gen AI coming into place, what I see, Vivek, the benefit, who has not started early, the benefit that I see is, so we were, let me tell you, like, we were running behind structured data. Everything has to be structured. All data need to be structured in the traditional way of digitalization. And for doing digital transformation, let's say if you need to do certain analysis, even to create a visualization, data need to be structured.
So I think what you're saying is it can be a blessing in disguise if a pharma company hadn't actually invested in building the digital infrastructure as so much. Uh, yeah, yeah, that's an
Yeah,
interesting thought.
yeah. This is what I see. Yeah.
That's great. And finally, Rajesh, what has your experience been working with Leucine so far?
Yeah. So if you ask me, started, I think probably we were one of the organization worked with Lucin in the starting days of with Lucin, right? So the journey, like I think I was able to watch the journey from close quarters, right? Coming with the first product, or let's say understanding what is a niche need for pharmaceutical industry, focusing on cleaning validation where not many software providers are available, addressing that unmet need in pharmaceutical industry, right? And creating a product for it. So creating a product, I think probably many companies can do. However, what stands out for me is the customer first or customer success approach, right? You are able to take the process to next level. You are able to quantify, or let's say compare against what is there in the industry. Let's say you're able to compare against 483s getting issued to various organizations, and where Dr. D stands against those observations, or let's say with respect to compliance on cleaning validation process, where Dr. D stands. These were all some niche thoughts I saw. And a customer success manager, right? And then working with all end users to make proper adoption and to realize the benefit. These are some different things I could see with Leucine, right? And hence the if there are digital solutions, like if Leucine is creating digital solutions, there is a that's what I would suggest. Please continue on that path. It's not all about digital solutions. However, how we are making digital solutions to make meaningful business outcome, right? That is the approach Lucin has taken, which is very, I would say that hats off to you guys. Very, very, very useful approach, and please continue on that.
Yeah, I'm happy to hear that. I'm happy to hear the feedback on the customer success team specifically. I'm sure they'll be very happy to hear your feedback. I'll just pass it on to them. I think also our product team would find it extremely valuable in terms of, I think our effort has been to always focus on the outcome that we can deliver. And I think product and technology is really a means to achieving a business outcome. So I'm sure that our product management team will also find it quite valuable to hear this feedback. So Rajesh, thank you so much for your time, your valuable insights, and all the efforts that we made today. Yeah, and best of luck with your continued excellence, the digital journey that Dr. Reddy is on. I'm hoping to see a lot more exciting things coming up soon and be able to learn from what you guys do. So thank you so much for the chat today, and looking forward to our time ahead.
Thank you for providing this opportunity, Vivek and Lucent team, and try to provide insights, or let's say whatever limited information or knowledge that we are having, try to share as much as possible.